So, Bethesda leaks. What do we think?
So, Bethesda's conference is tonight.
Yes. Okay. By the time you're viewing this,
it's tonight. So it's going to be tonight.
Correct.
And this dude shows up on 4chan about
random ass dude.
Probably what was it, like a week ago? Maybe
it
a week,
was
maybe a week
6:01:17 at 8:34 and 42 seconds p.m.
He shows up and details an entire timeline of stuff that Bethesda is supposedly working on.
Yep. Actually, real quick, I'm gonna run through that timeline.
Yeah, let's do that.
Run through the timeline first.
Let's do that. I compiled it here for us.
Yeah.
Gotta pull it up.
Hold on, gotta scroll up there. We're getting there. For some reason, it kicked me all the way back to the bottom.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're good right here. Okay, cool. So, number one, 2017. Apparently launching in 2017.
Yeah, that would be
this
this fall.
Right.
Which, now, to start with, is not unlike Bethesda. They did this with Fallout.
With Fallout.
They announced Fallout,
and
they released it 6 months later. So.
Right.
It's totally possible that this could happen.
Yeah, they just keep it secret.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Because they're great. It's just like the same way that Rockstar does
secret.
It,
I mean, even though we knew about Fallout 4 like 3 years before it was announced.
Right. Right now we're at Starfield coming out this fall, 2017. Right. It is a new IP. It's a sci-fi open world RPG.
Yes, which would be super sweet.
That would be awesome. We're gonna get into that a little bit more in a second here.
Because even if everything else is bogus, that game is real.
Exactly. Well, then you ended up linking the where they copyrighted
the trademark,
like a year ago or something
stuff.
like
that.
That game is real?
That game is 100% real.
Okay. Yes, that's happening.
We just don't know if it's going to be this year.
Then next up, we got in the year 2020, we have a Game of Thrones project. They inked the deal with HBO to produce a fully open world RPG in the Game of Thrones universe.
Really? Which I'd be down with.
Cool.
I'd be down with that.
I'm up for that. Next up, we got 2023, Elder Scrolls 6, Akavir.
Right.
Supposedly a trailer is all ready to go, but it won't be shown this year, and it's being planned for future console hardware, i.e. PS5 and Xbox, whatever the hell.
Xbox 1, 2, 3.
Right, I like that. 2023. Oh, it gets better.
It gets better.
Oh my
it gets
God.
better.
We've got Fallout 5 planned for 2025.
Oh, man.
Set somewhere in New York City, near New York City.
Yeah, that's literally all he said was that, somewhere near New York City.
That's probably all they know about it at this point.
Well, keep in mind, this is a dude leaking from Bethesda.
Yeah.
Supposedly in the works at
Bethesda.
This
point, they literally just got some dudes together in a room. We're like, hey, we're going to make Fallout 5. Where do you want it to be? New York sounds cool.
Yep. But the most interesting thing is this part here.
We've got in the year 2030, Elder Scrolls 7. According to this person, Todd Howard has said that the tech isn't currently possible for what he wants to do with Elder Scrolls 7. After Akavir, which is 6, they want to do a complete interconnected Tamriel with all areas seen in every Elder Scrolls game fully playable and explorable. That size just isn't possible right now.
Yeah, there's no way they could do that with tech today.
Like Elder Scrolls Online, which is a great game.
Yeah,
sure, and
but
that
much more in depth.
Exactly,
than Elder Scrolls.
Way better.
As much like
sarcasm as possible
as I possibly could put into it.
Yeah, so that's the timeline that guy laid out.
Set up. Right now, I'm calling complete BS.
Yeah.
This dude has no idea what he's talking about.
I'm saying that it's partially BS.
Sure.
We know. Here's what we know. We know Starfield is real.
Okay.
We know Elder Scrolls 6 is real.
Yeah.
We know Fallout 5 is real. We just don't know if everything that he said about them is real.
And here's the thing: even if it is true, like that stuff changes so much by the time it actually comes out. We're never going to be able to verify that it was true.
One thing I read in that 4chan thread that I did like, and that made a lot of sense to me. He said that Akavir was always planned as the 6th game because of the name, aka VIR. So they want to stress the VI in Akavir as Elder Scrolls 6.
So they're pulling right off of Resident Evil 7.
That is the only area. That's the only area. Correct me if I'm wrong. In Tamriel that we haven't explored yet.
I didn't even know that was.
There's actually a
area.
bunch of areas that we haven't explored yet. Yeah, there's I think Black Marsh, the place where
I don't know every
the
area
Wood Elves are
in
from.
Tamriel.
There's a bunch of areas that just haven't been in any of the games.
Okay, so there's still a lot
elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe this will all mix together. The one thing I wanted to throw out, though, is that, like, yeah, we can say all these games are real, they exist, but that's just like saying, hey, guess what? They're making another 2 Zelda games.
Right.
Well,
yeah, well, duh, they
are. Hey, guess what?
Eventually.
Eventually, a Mario 3D platformer is going to come out.
Yeah, dude, they're going to come out with a new Zelda game in 2030.
Exactly. Like, that's the same
sure.
validity that they said. Like, hey, there's another Pokemon game going to come out.
But here's the thing. So you have all the info that he said about Starfield.
Yep.
We're going to know if this guy is somewhat legitimate or not after the conference tonight.
Sure.
Because if they announce Starfield, it's guaranteed that they're going to have to talk about some of the stuff that he laid out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they
I don't think it's
won't
guaranteed, but
they're not
they
gonna
won't
have to.
have to.
If they announce Starfield, that's enough.
Yeah,
that would be enough.
And I mean, he did say that The Evil Within 2 is planned for the conference tonight,
which is great.
Yeah, he did say that we would see the new Wolfenstein,
right? Which is cool.
The new Colossus.
Can't wait for that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about Evil Within 2. That's
I'm
cool.
so excited. Game. Evil Within 1 is my favorite game to have released on these platforms.
Yeah.
Really?
At this time, yep.
Wow. Yeah, it's a really good game.
It's incredible. It's one of my favorites.
It's
but
like
I'm also
it's a lot. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot like experiencing Resident Evil 4 for the first time again.
Yeah.
You know, which was
totally
really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And the only other thing he said was that we could see like Prey DLC or Dishonored 2 DLC, which I'd be okay for either one.
I feel like we have higher of a chance of Dishonored 2 DLC just because that game at least reviewed really well.
Did Prey not review very well?
No, IGN gave it like a 4 to start, and then after the first patch, then they patched it, and IGN updated their review to be.
I gave it much higher, which is what I gave it.
You really liked it, but
you read that
right, and you played it.
But I played it after the patches,
and not on PC, right?
Right, I played on PS4.
There you go.
Okay, so about this Starfield game, what do we know about?
Let's get into that.
Let's
get into that.
So on to Starfield, as it says here. The game has actually been in conceptual stages since around Fallout 3's release. It went into pre-production officially very low-tier pre-production after Skyrim's release. After Fallout 4's release, it went into full pre-production, and after the DLC was out, they sped into full development. The game is going to be a sci-fi open-world RPG in typical Bethesda first-person fashion. It's going to feature 5 to 10 races. There's still some debate on what should and shouldn't go in and takes place in the Fallout universe, just so far in the future and far away from Earth, so that it'll only be mentioned in hints.
Which, stop there, is another thing we have to mention.
Is the timeline.
This guy is claiming that Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and Starfield are set in the same universe.
I absolutely believe that.
I agree.
I
agree.
I don't know that that necessarily proves that he's telling the truth about a leak. I think that's just a pretty logical assumption to make at this point.
So what he was saying is that Fallout would be the first series in the timeline, followed by Starfield, which would take someplace in the middle, and then Elder Scrolls would be very, very far to the future as civilization has basically started over.
I mean, just if you play like Skyrim, you know, and you look up into the sky and you see like 4 moons in the sky, you know you're not on Earth, or you know you're like way in the future in some other weird
something happened. You know, this could be after Earth or the Milky Way collides with Andromeda, and we have some totally new galaxy.
So I'm curious, like this Starfield game, like is this going to be like the first like Bethesda open world game that has more than one land? Like if it's like interplanetary travel sort of thing, you know, that could be really interesting.
Could they do Mass Effect correctly?
Right.
let me throw this little
or a better No Man's Sky
nugget of a paragraph at you.
No Man's Sky is
the game will feature space travel and hub worlds as well as RNG worlds.
Okay. RNG worlds?
There you go. That just straight up blew No Man's Sky and Mass Effect, all that put together.
Boom.
It's meant to be a test into more sandboxy, Minecraft-ish AAA thing, but with Bethesda gameplay and still actually designed worlds, quest, etc.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I wonder how they would handle like an actual quest system where you have to go from place to place to place talking to NPCs in a like actual like RNG based, like a procedurally generated world, you know, like that's really interesting.
That'd be cool. And I like the idea of the planets being like that.
Yeah.
Whereas it's not like, it's not like the entire game is like Minecraft or No Man's Sky, where it's like, mine is completely random from what yours is. It's you still have these set worlds, and then it's like, oh cool, you go to planet XR25 or whatever, and that's a water planet for me, but it's a jungle planet for you and a lava planet for you.
Yeah,
cool.
Interesting.
What do you do there? Oh hey, there's a cool merchant there. But
here's
3
the thing.
quests.
What
there,
does the merchant say when you go to see that merchant? If it's 3 different worlds, it's the same merchant. The merchant's just like, "Hi, I'm generic merchant number 1. Please don't ask me about anything around this area because I don't know." You know,
exactly. Right.
Yeah. So that's worrying.
So you have to make it right. So how are they going to be able to make that work?
Yeah.
Because again, it's cool that it can all be random, but if it's still like you're saying, like where it's just but everything is reskinned, it's like well then kind of the
I'm a little
wears
concerned
off a
about
little
this
bit.
because it's like I love Bethesda and I love the games that they make.
I do too.
But on a technical level, like they spend so much time making these games huge and interesting.
There's always so
but
many
there's
issues.
always a technical problem or
So
two.
many
You know,
issues.
like
Or 3 or
I
4.
mean, we can like
You know.
like you can get into
Sometimes
Skyrim
more.
when it first came out, having like skeletons of dragons falling out of the sky randomly,
Right, or the
and,
game
like,
being broken
they're
on
too-
PS3
they're too
completely.
ambitious. They're too ambitious
to the point
with
where
what
at a
they try to
certain
do.
point in your save file, your game just wouldn't load
Right,
anymore.
where you just corrupt
Yeah.
the game, and that's why the DLC didn't work
Yeah,
ever.
exactly.
And the month-long exclusivity that it had with Microsoft
And not
ended
even-
up being like 7 months long.
And not even talk
Like,
about their like just basic human animation skills.
Right.
You know, I mean, like there are so many like basic technical problems that I feel like they're just like they're shooting up here for some crazy madness, and they still got some stuff here to work out. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see if. Because
they are a very talented studio, though.
They are.
I mean, they could definitely figure it out.
And I don't blame them
but
for
they
that
have
because
to,
yeah, because the thing is because that is the thing, they make games that are so big that they just don't have time to do the details like that.
Yes.
You know, and I can get behind that because the worlds are vast enough to be interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't. You know why? Because Zelda did it right.
yeah.
Breath of the Wild did it, and that made it okay, and that's on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, and
So
that-
why
it's
can't
true.
Bethesda at
Now-
least make a functioning game?
Now, that's not to say Breath of the
Because
Wild
here's the
didn't have
thing.
any issues, though.
Here's
the
the
frame
thing,
rate
though.
was pretty abysmal.
If
Yeah, okay. In certain
in
parts.
some areas,
in certain
but
areas.
that's true though. They did it right, but they also took some cutbacks that Bethesda didn't do. You know, Bethesda voice act every single character in the game.
Yes.
You
Sure.
talk to every character, and they've got. I mean, it's like one of
Mostly
5
with
different
good
voice
voice
actors.
actors. That's what I was gonna say.
Well,
You
mostly,
know?
and they're good, though.
Yeah.
The Breath of the Wild ones, they were not
They're
good voice actors.
relatively good.
Yes.
I used to be a hunter like you, and then I took an arrow.
It's an adventurer. Thank you very much.
Whatever.
All right.
But the
Please.
Breath of the Wild voice actors were very good.
Some of them were.
Yeah.
Zelda was amp, but a
Okay,
lot
the
of them were good.
Breath
Like
of
the
the Wild-
Gorons were really good.
The Gorons were
they
good.
good.
All that was good.
But that's
Rivali was
but that's
cool,
the thing
so-
is like all of the like the character animation was put into these cutscenes. You know, where in Breath of the Wild you talk to a character just standing around. They
Sure.
just do some basic animations and then they show you some text at the bottom. You know,
Right.
And Bethesda took it a whole other level and they were like, we're gonna voice act every single character. You know, and that's impressive,
Yeah.
even if it's like glaringly weird looking
Sure.
sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
can see that.
but you gotta give it to them for that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if at this point they're going to make a game that's as big as a universe, like you can
Right,
see how.
yeah.
Like,
I know.
they-
And it's a big claim, I think, to say that it's coming out this year. It's coming out at the end of.
Right.
Unless
but,
they've been working on it this whole
but
time,
that's
which is
not
keeping it
like we
secret.
mentioned.
Which
That's
that's what they
not
said.
unlike
Fallout
Bethesda.
4.
They did
Sure.
that with Fallout 4. Like you said.
Sure. I don't know.
And they
I
did
find
say
it
that
hard
was a
be-
route that they wanted to start taking. They want to reduce the gap between announcement to release.
Sure.
They want that as small as possible.
And I'm
I
cool
think
with
it's a
that.
good way to go.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. And we've seen plenty of other games do it that way. You know, where
Yeah, it's
there's
starting to
been
become a lot
smaller-
more common.
Yeah, whether it's a small release. Look at Shadow of War first comes to mind, where
Yeah.
it was going to be. It was announced, just a few months ago. Was going to be in August.
Yeah.
Thing since got delayed. Whatever. 6 weeks isn't
not everyone,
nothing to worry about.
Not everyone's
you know what
taking
I
the
mean?
Square Enix route where they take like 7
10
to 10
years,
years.
right.
Yeah,
the game.
and then announcing
But
it
the
7
thing is-
years in
Exactly.
ahead of
Kingdom
time.
Hearts 3,
Yeah.
as we record this, was announced 4 years ago to the date.
4 years
Oh
ago.
my god,
Oh my god.
that's insane. But to say like they took Fallout 4, Fallout 4, at least to me, was like very obvious, almost like a reskin of Fallout 3.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where like everything about it was just like, oh cool, they did this, they put a little bit prettier graphics in there, and then they re-released it to the world.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they made this game in such a bubble.
Right.
That it's like they didn't even look to see what else was going on.
That-
in the
and that's
universe.
another problem
And
with
that worries
Bethesda
me about
itself.
this. Bethesda thinks that Bethesda does it the best.
They make their
and
games
they
in a
don't.
vacuum. They make
Yeah,
their games
there
in
are a lot of
And
things that
that's
they
what kinda
don't do the
sucks.
best.
Right.
Exactly.
Hello Games
And that's
does it
true.
best.
And so
true.
what's that?
Hello Games does it best.
Oh, truly.
Yeah.
Shout out to
That's
Sean
true.
Murray.
Right.
Yeah, so-
Goodbye
my boy.
games. And so it's like I don't know. So
joke.
that's why like with Starfield, it's like cool, it's gonna come out, but it's a new IP, and there's no way they're gonna release a new IP looking the same because like Fallout 4 you can forgive because it's like, oh, they did Fallout 3. Oh, okay, they just upscaled Fallout 4. Okay, whatever. I can forgive it for that.
I would be concerned about
brand
that.
new IP, and if it comes out looking like last gen hardware, then that's gonna be a big problem.
And that's
for them.
the thing. They have all these
they
other. Have all these other like development companies working with them to make these other great games, like Dishonored.
Sure.
And,
Arcane Studios,
Tango Works,
great animation companies
Doom,
working for
who
them.
did Doom?
But
it's not id.
And all of those
like
games look
way
better.
It's id, but it's not id. It's still id, but it's not. It's not the id team.
And that's the thing. All of those games look way better than any first-party Bethesda game.
Yeah, Bethesda Game Studio is the problem, not their development team.
Right.
So
not their publishers.
And if they're keeping it a secret like this, obviously they are not like outsourcing any of this. They are keeping everything in house.
Right.
Which means actually, if we get an announcement for this game at this point, I would be surprised if it's literally not the same engine that they've been using for Fallout 4.
There's a very good possibility it will be.
Yeah.
And that'll be very interesting to see. I think maybe they found a way to milk more out of the engine than
I mean, it might look a little bit better, but would it perform better? Is the question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I guess.
But I guess we'll find out tonight
in like 12 hours.
Yeah, from the time you watch this video.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a quick look at what Bethesda's supposedly been working on. I really am intrigued by the whole timeline of the franchises all being one timeline. I've never heard that before until I read that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing. And then there was something in there like the
and that's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, that's
like,
not
a lot of people have been trying
theory.
to piece that together.
Yeah, especially with Skyrim, just the crazy sky in Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like you see that in any of the Elder Scrolls games.
Right.
And you're not on Earth, so it's probably not like in this same time.
Yeah,
it's like
it's not taking place back when you think it is.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Well, hey, it could be a galaxy far away, and it could be a long time ago. We don't know.
Yeah.
Or it could be
because that's
really
when Star Wars took place, and sure enough, that looks way more futuristic than anything we have.
Yeah.
That was the point. Yeah.
Well, Skyrim is like old school.
Yeah.
Like swords and stuff like that. Why
Right, civilization has started over.
Yeah, it's a whole different
that's what's so crazy.
Yeah, it's like, look at like think about it. Even if it is Earth, think about it like this.
Yeah.
Like think about like Fallout is the fall of the human race. Yeah. Like everything ending and just in destruction.
But it's Fallout on Earth.
And then Fallout's on Earth.
And
of course, Fallout's on Earth.
It takes place in New York and DC and Boston.
DC and Boston and
Vegas.
Right. Hey.
Right. And then,
just throwing out there, I was never a fan of the Fallout games. I actually personally hate the Fallout games like more than any other game in the world. So
that's
I hate the post-apocalyptic is for me personally one of my least favorite genres.
Right, and I kind of feel the same way.
When I played
Fallout,
Fallout 3. I remember when I first got that on 360, I'm like, okay, cool. Everyone's talking about how great this is. And I put it in. And it's like, hey, look at that gray building and that gray sky and that gray floor and my gray gun and that gray bomb and that gray dude. And I'm like...
So it was all green. Fall off. Like
I don't
it's
want
like,
this. Like it's so boring and it's so ugly. And why would I want to be in this world where it's just like
and Fallout 4
and
tried
time?
to fix that.
And then they added a
too.
bunch more colors,
You know?
but the damage was done. And I'm like, your old franchise was so gross and nasty. Why am I gonna think that this new one's gonna be any better? You've already soiled, the taste or whatever the saying
I'll
is.
tell you the
know
answer
what I mean?
to that. The reason why is
why do I
because it's
care?
going to be on VR.
And then there you go.
That is something we didn't mention.
He also leads into that.
Yeah, that was
Skyrim
something we
gonna
didn't
get
mention.
VR
If Fallout 4 VR does well, they're planning on Skyrim VR. That was something we didn't
Fallout
mention.
VR
I'm surprised
for sure
that,
is going to happen.
Yeah, well, they officially announced
Fallout 4 VR will be
a
a main focus at E3 this year.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I'll buy Fallout 4 again just to try that, and that could turn me around. But like, I tried playing Fallout 4 too, and I could not get in it. And she's like, "Hey, here's this open world, go do whatever," and I'm just like,
But that's a Vive exclusive.
Homie, I don't care.
If I'm not mistaken.
Is it really?
I heard that it would be.
Yeah,
and
I think the Vive is the only one that can.
Which is weird because most things are either Oculus exclusive or they aren't exclusives.
Right.
Except for Batman, that was PlayStation exclusive.
That was PlayStation exclusive.
But
yeah,
only
there were
for
some
a certain
PlayStation.
times. It's on Steam.
And now it is.
Yeah.
But what's to say
now.
this isn't a
But
limited
it's the same
time
thing like
exclusive.
it's a limited Resident Evil. Like Resident Evil.
Resident Evil
like
was
PlayStation. It's a
PS4 as well.
1 year exclusive for PSV
Right.
VR. But I mean, I heard that it's going to be a Vive exclusive, which is an interesting choice for them. But
Interesting.
But we'd still get to check it out.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah, you have
so
one.
I'll try it.
Well, dang.
So,
All right. Any final comments, concerns, thoughts?
No, I'm excited for tonight, man.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna be really good. Evil Within 2 is my pick of the show because I already know it's gonna be there. So
let us know what you think in the comments below.
Yeah,
and because we want to know
join us
what
tonight live. We'll be we'll be streaming on Twitch.
Someone will be.
Yeah,
right.
some members of the SuperGen crew will
some
be there.
form of this community will be there.
Yeah, someone will be there.
Yeah, check us out.
Alrighty, cool. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning into this BJ&A, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.